This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Mr. Mohamed Azad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you are from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
Ilayan Gudi.
Yes, sir. Elctrical.
To which direction it is there in Tamil Nadu?
It is southern Tamil Nadu.
Southern Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir. Close to Ramanathapuram.
Near to Kanyakumari or something like
Close
that.
to Ramanathapuram, Gulf of Mannar.
It has a seashore also.
No, sir. Our district doesn't have seashore.
Yeah, it is a landline.
Yes.
Continental type.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have agriculture engineering and forestry, whereas you have studied electrical engineering.
Yes.
Why didn't you take electrical engineering?
So electrical engineering is not an optional in forest service exam.
It's not there in forest service?
No, sir. It's not there.
Okay. IIT Madras.
Yes, sir.
The IIT Madras is doing wonderful research and technologies, especially good technologies.
Yes, sir.
Say something about IIT Chennai.
Sir, IIT Madras was started in around the 1950s with the help of a German collaboration. It is well known for its mechanical engineering department historically. But in recent years, it has also set up a very good infrastructure in terms of computer science and electrical engineering. And in the last few years, IIT Madras has been pioneering battery technology for electric
What
vehicles.
is its contribution to Chennai water situation conditions or problems?
Sir, many research projects have been launched in Chennai and IIT Madras related to the Chennai floods and water crisis. The chemical engineering department in particular has been working on many projects along with the Chennai Corporation to ensure flood flows in the Kuvam River and also for evaluating pollution levels. After the 2015 floods, there was also an initiative to map the flood-prone areas in Chennai. And they worked with the Chennai Corporation and Tamil Nadu government to identify areas which are prone to flooding.
What it has done to clean water?
Sir, Chennai, IIT Madras was part of many projects to evaluate pollution levels in the Kuvam River and also in the surrounding lakes. And the feedback provided to the corporation has been helpful in setting up sewage treatment plants at specific locations where pollution levels are high.
Okay. And you have forestry with you, eh?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of forests are there in Tamil Nadu?
Sir, Tamil Nadu, majority forests are dry deciduous, but we also have dry evergreen forests in the coastal areas. And also we have Shola forests, southern mountain wet temperate forests in the Nilgiris.
What are these Shola forests?
So Shola forests are high altitude forests found in the Nilgiris, exclusively in the Nilgiris, which are evergreen broad-leafed forests. They are known for their high altitude regions and they are not very tall in terms of the canopy. But they
And
are.
why they are not tall?
So because of the altitude, because of winds and other factors, the canopy is usually in the middle layer.
They are only in valleys. Why they are in valleys only?
Sir, on the hill slopes, it is because of the topography. They are usually found in the valleys where the terrain is more flatter. And also winds are less in the valleys.
No. Why they are in valleys only? It is a soil factor, you know. Okay. In the hilltop or where the soil depth is less, where the water retention is less, and in the valleys, soil is little more deeper, and the moisture, it is fully moist. And if you see the Shola forest, they are mostly moist. And whenever erosion takes place, then what happens? Entire forest that gets down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shola forest. That's why they are Shola. They are at a particular place. They are very sensitive. And to regenerate them is very difficult. Why it is like that? Because of the same factor that they don't get the same type of conditions elsewhere. And regeneration in those soils is very, very difficult. Okay. And in coastal Tamil Nadu, we have a different type of vegetation.
Yes, sir.
It's not mainly saline vegetation or something like that. Even they are blank also. What are other vegetations over there?
So the dry evergreen forests are found in the north coastal Tamil Nadu. And so
It is thorny forest.
thorny forests, yes.
Why? It is planted.
Yes, sir.
And it is mostly Prosopis juliflora,
Yes, sir.
Teaker, Acacia nilotica.
Yes, sir.
And what is the how they save the coastal areas from cyclones?
Sir, plants like Prosopis juliflora are phreatophytes, so they have deep roots which can withstand cyclones and winds. Also, they are well suited for arid regions where groundwater levels may be lower.
Their density is very, very high.
Okay.
They are very, very high, and whenever the cyclone comes, then it acts as a wall.
Yes, sir. Okay.
If you see the trees, they are distantly spaced, and it is just a wall. Everywhere there is a vegetation, so it acts as a wall, and that's why the coastal area is saved.
Okay.
When was the tsunami in Tamil Nadu? Big tsunami. Do you have some
December
idea?
2004. Sir.
2004. Yes. And what happened at that time?
Sir, because of some tectonic movement in the Indonesia, surrounding Indonesia region, there was a tsunami, and water levels in Chennai specifically, water entered the beaches and almost reached the
Yes.
roads.
Yes. Okay. And there is Forest Act and Forest Conservation Act.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between these two?
Sir, Indian Forest Act was enacted in 1927 before independence, and its main objective was to protect forests for specifically for British timber needs. Whereas Forest Conservation Act was enacted in 1980, and its main purpose was to prevent diversion of forest lands for non-forestry purposes.
Yes. Okay. We have forest policies.
Yes, sir.
How many policies were there?
Sir, there were a total of 3 policies. The first one was in 1894, and the second one was after independence in 1952, and finally in 1988 we have the current policy.
Specific, say 1-2 lines of each policy.
Yes, sir. In the 1894 policy was primarily aimed to ensure that forest lands were under British control and served for colonial purposes. Whereas the 1952 policy was intended to ensure that forests are used for nation building purposes. 1988 marked a shift towards conservation, and forests were effectively prohibited from being used for non-forestry purposes.
88 policy was toward people's participation also.
Yes, sir. Also.
Looking at the success or failure of 1976 National Commission on Agriculture Policy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what is the linkage between the forest and IIT? Having spent so precious years of your academic life, now you are suddenly saying you want to become a forest officer.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think that government and society has put lots of investment in you for making you an electrical engineer? Now you are saying you are going to be forest officer. Justify your change?
Sir, my change was primarily because of I wanted a career where I could work on the ground and spend more time outdoors. But considering that I have a degree in electrical engineering, I feel apart from learning electrical engineering in IIT, I also learned the basics of problem solving and identifying solutions, which I feel would help me in forest service.
Okay. You are from Chennai, and in Chennai we have regularly 1 or 2 or 3 years regularity this kind of report that excessive rains in Chennai, and half of the Chennai is merged and so many troubles. So what's the reason behind that? 3-4 years interval we are having excessive rains in Chennai.
In the last since 2015 specifically, we have been having rains have been monsoon has been above normal, and flooding has been frequently occurring. Primarily because for the preceding few decades, there has been Chennai usually faced rain deficit. So flood control was not a priority for the local bodies. And since the last few years, there has been an increase, and this has resulted in flooding. As for why there has been an increase, climate change definitely plays a role. But apart from that, I'm not aware of any specific reason why it has been increased.
Okay. Where International Forest Day is celebrated?
So I'm not aware of it.
Okay. I read from your form that you are interested in blood donation.
Yes, sir.
Give me answer to a technical question that we have blood groups, A positive, A negative. What does this positive and negative mean? On what basis they are termed positive or negative?
Sir, positive, negative are the rhesus blood groups, which indicate the presence of a specific antigen. In case of positive, the antigen is present, so it cannot be donated to negative blood donors, those with negative blood groups, as their antibodies would reject the positive antigens.
Okay. These days we come across many news about forest fire.
Yes.
A few days back in USA, only yesterday we saw in Spain.
Yes, sir.
And these are developed countries. I mean, they can manage anything under the sun. Why does forest fire take place?
So recently we have been seeing, especially in US and last year in Australia, the primary reason has been increasing occurrence of heat waves due to climate change. Heat waves have become more frequent, and this as when forests are dry, there are higher chances of forest fires. Also, factors like lightning could start a forest fire. And so, what was your other question?
Heat waves are more intense and more frequent in India.
Yes, sir.
We don't have that kind of forest fire in our country. If you are saying that heat waves are the reason, why don't we have in India?
Yes, sir. There has not been much of an increase in number of forest fires. But I'm not aware of
All right.
specific.
How would you define social forestry?
So social forestry includes people's participation. Usually, in usual forestry, only the forest department is involved in plantations and forestation activities, whereas in social forestry, the public is also involved. And in rural areas, villagers also take part in plantation and afforestation, along with the support of the forest department.
You come from Chennai, and Chennai has got a snake park, if I am correct.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us 5 important features of snake park of Chennai?
Sorry, sir, I haven't been to the snake park.
Okay. What's the difference between a snake park or any park defined under our Forest Act and zoological garden or zoo in brief we call? What's different between zoo and park in terms of technicalities? Are they same or some differences are there?
Sir, zoo, I believe, is primarily intended for educational purposes and includes a wide range of species. Whereas snake parks, apart from serving the education purpose, they are also more geared towards conservation and for exit to conservation. Whereas zoos are primarily intended for public awareness and education purposes.
Sure.
Sir, I'm not sure about it.
All right. Well, these days we come across a term called monetization. Government is trying to convert everything into a private sector to make more money, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you think that if snake parks is 100% privatized, or Ambani snake park or Adani snake park, in order to generate more resources, what's your take on this idea?
Sir, I'm not sure whether that would be beneficial because the revenue generation capacity of snake parks is not very high. So conservation might be affected because profit margins would be lower. So if privatized, then the conservation practices would be affected. But we could look at public-private partnerships where NGOs and other voluntary bodies could take over such parks. For example, I believe the Crocodile Park in the Madras Crocodile Bank, which is also located in the outskirts of Chennai, was started by a private body, and it has been very successful in conserving crocodiles.
Okay, sir.
Azad, tell me something about Chandrasekhar Azad.
Chandrasekhar Azad was a revolutionary freedom fighter who was the leader of the Hindustan Socialist Republic Association, which came up in the 1920s after the non-cooperation movement to fight with British colonialism primarily using violent means.
Okay, fine. So Azad, you are from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, sir.
And what is the district in which your place of birth lies?
Sivagangai district.
Shivaganga.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have agricultural engineering as one of your optionals. Can you tell me what are the prominent crops grown in your district?
So the primary crop is rice and other millets, various millets like pearl millet. Apart from that, there are not much crops because it's primarily a dryland area.
Okay.
It's basically rain-fed irrigation. So
Okay.
since MSP regime is quite active there, rice is the primary crop being grown.
Okay. So Azad, you mentioned about millets.
Yes, sir.
We have a Poshan Abhiyan or the National Nutrition Mission,
Yes, sir.
which focuses on millets.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about it.
So the Poshan Abhiyan was started, I believe, in 2017 with an aim to achieve a malnutrition-free India by 2022. Its primary beneficiaries are children and adolescent women. And yes, sir, it has multiple targets like reducing stunting, wasting, and reducing anemia among women.
How is Tamil Nadu performing on the mission?
So Tamil Nadu has historically been performing well in terms of food safety. Even recently, Tamil Nadu topped the Food Safety Index launched by the Union government. And schemes like midday meals have been very helpful in reducing malnutrition within the state.
Okay. You should read about what's the performance of the state.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay. What is the forest cover in Tamil Nadu?
So it is about 21%.
21%. Okay. And how much part of the Nilgiris lies in Tamil Nadu in terms of percentage?
In terms of area?
Percentage of the area.
Percentage of area. I'm not specifically aware of the number.
Okay, fine. So, you have graduated from IIT Madras.
Yes, sir.
IIT Madras was recently in news over the first 5G call which has been made in India. So, what was that about?
Sir, IIT Madras has been working on the 5G testbed project, which is basically a test setup where companies launching 5G products could test their products. Earlier, they had to rely on foreign companies for testing their products, but this indigenously developed testbed would help companies to test their 5G launch products before official launch.
Okay, that's good. So, Azad, what was your role at Texas Instruments?
Sir, my role was as an application engineer was to take ownership of a chipset which has been launched in the market and support its customers for any modifications or debugging. So the chipsets provided or handed over to me were display projector chipsets used in commercial projectors.
Okay, that's good. So, Azad, recently the Government of India has launched a semiconductor mission.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what are the environmental concerns associated with the manufacturing of semiconductors? Because it's a very niche and
Yes,
high-tech industry. So, what are the environmental issues associated with it?
So, semiconductors are manufactured in fabrication units or fabs. And they require specific environmental conditions like they require high levels of cleanliness within the fab. And also they are water intensive. The entire process is water intensive and requires high amounts of distilled water, which would affect if a fab is set up, it would affect the surrounding water levels. And also, they, as I mentioned, they required high levels of they require a clean environment within the fab, which should be difficult to ensure in a country like India where pollution levels are high.
Okay, fine. So, one of your hobbies is trekking in the hills around Chennai.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the last trek that you have went to?
Sir, it has been quite a few years. I think the last trek was in 2019, where I trekked along the Nagalapuram hills north of Chennai in Andhra Pradesh.
Okay. There is a national park and a wetland at the border of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Which is that wetland?
Sir, is it the Pudal Lake? Pulikat Lake, sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay. So, are you aware if any migratory birds are present in Pulikat Lake?
Sir, I think pelicans or flamingos frequent the Pulikat Lake. I'm not aware. Which specific
You can
bird.
read about it.
Yes.
So, you have also attended beach cleanup and lake cleanup drives.
Yes, sir.
There is a certification of beaches called as a blue flag certification.
Yes, sir.
So, how many beaches in Tamil Nadu have been certified?
Sir, I think one beach has been certified in Tamil Nadu, which is, if I'm not wrong, it's the Kovalam beach. But I'm not specifically aware of the.
Okay. What about Mahabalipuram? Has it been done or not?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. You can read about it.
Yes, sir.
So, Azad, recently it was reported that the barrier reef has witnessed one of its most serious bleaching issue.
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell me what is the current status of the barrier reef and how can we deal with the coral bleaching issue?
Yes, so the Great Barrier Reef has been affected by many coral. Apart from pollution, it has also been affected by coral bleaching because of rising seawater levels, temperature levels. And recently there was a major wave of coral bleaching that occurred in the Barrier Reef owing to the heat waves in Australia. I believe the present status is that the reefs could be rejuvenated. They have not reached the point of no return. But urgent action will be required to ensure that the barrier reefs are not lost permanently.
Okay. So, Azad, I was watching a documentary in which the geographical possibility of the Ram Setu was being discussed. It was being said that the area near the Rameshwaram beach, that is the Dhanushkodi region, it has, since the oceanic water from two sides is meeting, so the side connecting to Sri Lanka, it is a little bit shallow and
Yes,
it has presence of sandbars along it, which may support the construction of a bridge in case coral rocks are used, right? So what is your understanding? Is it possible?
Sir, you mean
Given the geographical possibilities over there.
So you mean construction of a man-made bridge?
Yeah.
Sir, I believe it would be possible, but it could have a negative influence on the ecosystem. Since both the Gulf of Mannar and the Park Bay regions are highly biodiverse regions and are important for the fishing industry. Such a bridge could affect...
No, I'm not talking about the present times. I'm talking about the presence of Ram Setu is always debated, but it
Yes,
is
sir.
visible in satellite images.
Yes, sir.
So do you think it would have been possible to build such a bridge? Because the underlying geographical features support the theory that it could have been possible.
Yes, sir. It is certainly possible that a land bridge would have existed in previous times and could have been submerged due to geological changes.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Azad.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.